Hi everyone, my name is Liz from flutesoundscapes.com and today I'm going to give you some tips on how to play a lullaby from the Australian Music Examinations Board's flute syllabus for Grade 2, List C number 1. So I'll play the piece first and then I'll go into some tips. The first thing I want to address in this piece is the sometimes problematic low C. So up until this point, you may not have played low C very often if you're doing grade 2. So I just want to point out that often the problem with the low C is these keys, one of these keys is not sealing properly. All right, so you want to check. Let's see if I can just angle that a bit better. You want to check underneath and notice if there's any gaps under one of these notes, which this C key presses down both of those keys. All right, so that's the first thing, because if there's any air gaps in those two keys, then low C is going to be really hard to get, and you're going to have to press extra hard with your pinky to get it to seal. The other thing is sometimes your flute may not be aligned very well, so this little knobbly bit here might be twisted one way or twisted the other way, and what you want it to be is right in the middle, depending on, of course, any anomalies that you might have with your fingers, but generally speaking you want to make sure it's in the middle. And the third thing with the low C is in terms of just the physicality of getting down there. So what you can do is get a little bit of face grease on your pinky so you can slide the pinky more easily back and forth between the E flat key and the C keys. So that would be tip number 1 for that. I'd also recommend that you have a look at the piano part to know exactly where you're meant to be coming in after the piano plays, because it is in a 6/8 feel, so you might find that it's a bit confusing as to where you actually have to come in. So write in some piano cues from the score and what to listen to so you're coming in at the right spot. Also be really clear about the rhythm in bar 19. Ta, 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 ta. All right, so you want to nut out exactly, you can break it down into quavers. So for example, you might put 2 quaver lines on the D to make sure you're holding that ta, 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 ta. And the next quaver line is going to be over the C. So count it out in 6. Ta, 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 ta. And the planning of breathing is also really important, so you can have the nice musical phrases and not break up the phrase, but also sometimes if you don't have enough breath for certain bars, then the rhythm might get messed up as well. So go through with your pencil and mark in exactly where you're going to take your breaths, because if you leave it to chance, then chances are you're not going to prepare well enough for some of the longer phrases, especially for the end actually, because it's holding that F for 9 beats really. And finally, I want to address tuning, because a lot of this piece is pretty much in the lower register and it's played at a piano dynamics. So often, especially if you're playing in a cold room, your flute is going to be flat. So you want to tune maybe just slightly higher, maybe just slightly sharp, so that when you get to those long sustained notes, those notes are less likely to be flat. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more practice tips like this. And you might also be interested in checking out some of my original music which I have written for solo flute and some for flute and piano. So you can check that out in my shop on my website. So I'll leave the links below for that. And if you're not in my local area but you're still interested in getting some lessons from me, you can have a lesson with me online. Or you can feel free to send me some recordings of your playing, or some videos of your playing. Videos would be better. And I'll give you some written detailed feedback with some playing examples. So again, I'll leave the links below for all of that where you can check it out. Bye for now.